We go.
We go.
Oh my goodness. I absolutely love our jingle. I know I say that every week. People gonna listen to these podcasts and be like, if she said that one more time.
Well, we may have a couple out there to be like, me too, girl.
Listen, I'm just saying, I know a couple people that's out there that's like, girl, that jingle hot, girl.
Again, can I borrow that?
Yeah. Well,
we can license.
We can license it, yeah. I mean, you know,
you want to use it. I mean,
I might have to charge for my voice and everything, but you know what I'm saying. But listen, we are super excited that you have decided to join us this Sunday. Oh my goodness, it is the holiday weekend. So I know a lot of people out there have a 3-day weekend. So woo woo to the people that have the holiday off tomorrow. We actually we're off on Friday. So woo woo.
Friday and Monday.
4-day weekend for us. But so listen, we're excited that you have decided to join us on Beyond the Chat. As you know, I'm your girl, your best friend, your next door neighbor, the one and only Natasha Cash.
And I'm T-Dub in the building.
So listen, we want you to like and subscribe to our channel. We have some amazing things coming up. You know, we were just talking about having a fashion show concert.
Yeah, we were just talking about it like a couple of days ago because we've been on this tip with this glow thing.
Oh my goodness. Listen, if y'all have not seen the show Glow Up, I need you to go on Netflix and I need you to watch Glow Up. Oh my goodness. There are some talented young people in this world. They have made the sun and the moon to rise and the stars to flow and the birds to chirp. I mean, all kinds of stuff going on people's faces, just using people's faces as a canvas. I mean, we have seen some amazing makeup. And it has been phenomenal. Listen, season 1 and season 2 has been the bomb. Now, season 3, I'm not really feeling. I think we're on episode like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
but
episode 3 is.
Yeah, it's a little slow for us this season, but episode 1 and 2 was a beast. Okay, so we binge watched it. It was so good. So that's a good show for y'all to check out. So if y'all have not seen Glow Up on Netflix, make sure y'all check it out.
Yeah,
okay.
That's men and women, because anyone that appreciates art will appreciate this, even though it's makeup, but it is art. And these are some talented artists, I guess, makeup artists, but check it out because you know, I like art. I ain't into putting on makeup.
I mean, I could try a couple little things, arch your eyebrows for you, you know what I'm saying? Put a little eyeliner, put some mascara, bring out your eyelashes and everything, pull your beard because your beard is long. I can put some, braid and put some little color in there for you. I can have you popping now. Talking about a glow up. I mean, I would.
Am I on the right show? I can drink to cool myself down.
I'm saying we're talking about the show Glow Up. You are the one that just said there are men and there are women on the show doing makeup on men and women.
Right. No, what I'm just saying, there's some talented artists on the show, and men and women.
Yes.
That are into art, not necessarily makeup.
Right.
Will appreciate the show because of the talent level that they're able to see. They're doing some amazing things.
Oh, I thought you were saying that I could do some makeup on you.
No,
I mean,
we can make up some things, but not make up.
I'm saying our shows would be the bomb if you got on here and I was able to show the people.
I don't think so.
But if I was able to show the people my artistry, you know how I can draw the moon and the stars and use you as my canvas. You wouldn't be my model.
Let me see it on a piece of paper first.
You know what? Not with him.
I'll be a model citizen, but I'm a makeup model.
Anyway, so listen, check out Glow Up if you have not seen the show. It is a really, really interesting show. It's on Netflix again, and it is super good. It's about makeup and different artists competing for a chance to work in some of the most prestigious areas of the world. They're in London and I mean just all kinds of places. New York, they're doing Fashion Week and they're doing the runways of London and all this stuff, but it's a super, super cool show. I really like it. So anyway, have we seen any good movies lately?
We've been watching a lot of movies where they are like Spanish movies or European or German movies, and they've been kind of doing voiceovers. So some of the titles you don't quite remember because you don't really see them advertised over here. But we've been finding some good movies. They write some good movies. It's just that you have to not like look at the mouthing.
Yeah, because it doesn't match.
It doesn't match. So if you're looking at those movies, they're great movies like The Heist.
That's
that movie right there.
Shows.
That thing was.
That was an episodic show, though. It was like it was
like 3 seasons.
It was 3 seasons of The Heist. Yes, that was a really good show. It kept you on the edge of your seat. I think we stayed up to sometimes 1, 2 o'clock in the morning watching that show.
Right, and the voices match the characters.
They do.
So that was like awesome. What I don't like is when you look at a man speaking or a woman speaking, and the voice just totally does not look like what the person sounds like.
Right.
Like I'm sure this person does not sound like this in real life.
Or match their body language.
Right.
Like a lot of times they'll be talking and they'll be kind of upset or aggressive and they're just standing there like, you didn't tell me that you wanted to go to the and it's just
like it really all of that really right. It's kind of like like kung fu theater.
Exactly.
You're like okay, you can't talk like that in real life.
Sometimes it just doesn't go over so well. But The Heist was a good one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one. And we, like I said, we binge watched that one in a couple of weeks. And it was 3 seasons of that.
Yeah, we did that. We were on top of that.
We were on top of that. Mm-hmm. We were like at 1 o'clock in the morning. He was like, "You got one more? Can we watch one more? Want to watch one more?" So that was a lot of fun. What else? Let's see. What other shows?
We did see one not too long ago. Well, I know we were looking for. Oh, you know what? The Rock, the movie that he just came out with, Jungle.
Yeah,
we need to see that.
Yeah, we do need to see that.
That's on our list.
It does look like it's gonna be a really good movie. And you know what? I really liked him, and I like him and Kevin Hart together.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that movie yet?
Yeah, tell us. Yeah, don't
give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on The Rock's new movie,
Jungle Cruise.
Disney's Jungle Cruise. Have you seen that yet? Have you taken the kids or whatever? We'd like to know if it's worth us adults looking at it.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be good though.
It seems like it. I like The Rock. He's
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, he's a good actor.
He is a good actor. You know who else is a good actor? Now I'm not a fan of her singing and her performing and all that stuff. But let me tell you something. Jennifer Lopez is a phenomenal actress.
She does very well.
I love her movies, and I mean she really brings it. She really brings her all to the screen.
Yep.
Yeah, she really does. I mean, I have seen her in Made in Manhattan. I have seen her in Monster-in-Law. I've seen her in The Wedding Planner. I've seen her in what else? Angel Eyes. I mean, she's done the movie Enough.
Yeah, I was just gonna say some action movies.
Yeah.
She's done very well.
She killed it in Enough. I mean, I think I watched that movie twice. She's also done Shall We Dance? She's done The Backup Plan, Jersey Girl. I mean, she's done so many really great movies. I love her as an actress, and Enough is one of my favorite movies. I think she did a movie called The Boy Next Door or The Next Door Neighbor, something like that. I'm trying to think. Now that was a good movie. I think that was her movie, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like the Boy Next Door or something like that. But that was a really good movie. But yeah, she's a good actress. Yeah. Who are some of your other favorite actors or actresses?
Well, I think there's a few people that's underrated, and I would say that, and we were just talking about this the other day, that Kevin Hart, even though he's all over the place, he may not be the greatest actor,
right?
But for what he's doing, in general, as an artist, comedian and actor, he's doing some really good things.
He is doing some really good things. He did what do you call it?
Black History.
He did something on Black History. He's doing something with you know what? And he does a lot for his friends, like his friends that have been ride or die with him.
Pull them up.
He's pulling them up. We were just watching him on YouTube the other day, and they were showing his trainer went out of town and had to go somewhere out of town, I guess, to do another show or something somewhere. And while he was out of town, he redid his entire back room of his house and put a barber's chair and redid the kitchen, the island. And I mean, that was super nice. And Kevin paid for all of it.
Yeah, he is a humanitarian.
Yes, he is. It was his way of showing his friend that he appreciates him and everything that he has done for him. So I think that's super cool.
That's awesome.
It's so nice when you're able to do stuff for people and not look for anything in return. You just have that kind of heart. That's what we do.
And the good thing is, for some people, it really doesn't take money or spending money to do something for someone.
It doesn't. It really does not.
Sometimes it's something as simple as labor.
Right. Exactly.
Will make somebody's day.
That's so true. And being there for somebody when they least expect it, just like popping up, being able to help, giving a helping hand, supporting them at a show or something they're doing in their home, renovating their house, or like what you did for your brother. I love that. You built him a studio in his home. That was so cool. And I know he was so appreciative. And just in general, just being an all around good person, just makes you feel good.
Yep. I love to do.
I love to give. I like it. Oh my goodness. So listen, I know we talked about this last Sunday, but the FDA has approved the Pfizer vaccine. So if you have not been vaccinated, please keep yourself safe and your family safe by getting vaccinated. It is very important. People are losing their lives every single day to this deadly virus, and it doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. But hopefully, with the support of all of us working together, and mandating masks, especially for our children in these schools, is so sad that these children are being affected. And there's not only is it affecting the children, but when the child is affected, the parent has to stay. Somebody has to stay home and take care of the baby.
Somebody have to put themselves at risk,
right,
to take care of their loved ones.
Exactly.
Because it's so hard to watch a loved one in your same house, in your same city,
right,
state. It's so hard to just watch somebody that you truly love go through something that they can't help.
Exactly. For an example, Jesse Jackson, he and his wife have contracted COVID, and my understanding is that he is recovering while his wife is in rehab. He was vaccinated, and his wife is unvaccinated. So definitely sending our prayers up to them and hopes for a speedy recovery.
Yes. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, just go ahead and say hello. Let us know. Let us see who's all in the house tonight.
Hey.
So sometimes Facebook does kind of drop the connection, so we just want to make sure that everybody's locked in.
Yes. So you may be watching us on different platforms, so make sure you chime in. Let us know you're there.
Yeah.
All right. So can we jump into our thought of the week? I'm gonna let you read the thought of the week this week. So I read it every week, so we're gonna switch it up a little bit. So you want to read it?
So it's not what you do for your children, but what you have taught them to do for themselves will make them successful human beings.
Yes, that is so true. So this week we're talking about parenting adult children. This is a really good subject. We've been talking about it for about a day or so, deciding what we're going to how we're going to talk about this topic, and came up with some really good conversations. So we wanted to share it with you, get your feedback. We want to hear what you have to say, and we want you to chime in. So today we're talking about parenting adult children. Is it necessary?
Well, I think it's necessary to continue to show love.
Okay.
But how necessary is it to force decisions that they're trying to make as adults, where you feel like you've raised them to this point,
right?
And of course, you still want to influence them,
of course.
But at what point do you say, okay, I'm going to let them ride this out, live and learn, even though you feel like they could possibly fail?
You know, that is so true, because in order for us to be good parents, we have to first understand that we were once young too. And we have to think, okay, did we want our mom and dad all involved in our decisions when we became adults, or to the point that we were able to take care of ourselves? We're out of the home. We're not living at home anymore. We're not, having to abide by their rules. However, keeping in mind also that you don't stop being a parent because your child turns 21.
Nope, not at all.
And you don't stop having a heart, and you don't stop caring for them because they're now an adult and they're married and they have children and all that stuff. Your heart doesn't change toward your children. You still love your children and you want to protect them. That's just being a parent.
Yeah, it's still your child, regardless. Even if your child gets, married and moves on, it's still your child.
Absolutely.
There's a certain level of, okay, I cannot do this anymore.
Right.
Well, I can still do this. I cannot do this. There's certain things that you can do and you shouldn't do.
Right.
You can do whatever you wanted to, but at some point, you're either going to push that child away, which is an adult, because they feel like, look, you got me to this point.
Right.
Everything I learned came from me growing up under you. So why are you all in my grill after 21?
But, well, can I say something? Because I'm a parent that still parents my adult children. And it's not that I want to tell them what to do or make them or feel like I'm making them do something that I want them to do. I think I come from a place of love. And trust me, I do understand that sometimes as a parent, I can be a little overbearing, only because I've had life experiences that they haven't had. And I understand how this world works. And I know they have to experience life for themselves. I get that. But it's so hard to just let your child just, be willy-nilly out there and not at least say something.
Right, because you live and you learn. And at this point, we've lived, we've learned. And it's like, I see you going down this path.
Right.
Hey, put on your brakes. Put on your brakes. So, it's definitely hard to just say, all right, I'm going to let you experience it. But sometimes you have to let them do that when they push back.
That is so true. Yeah, that's very true. Because you can only go so far and you can only spend so much time trying to help them understand why you're saying what you're saying, why you're being the way you're being, why you're reacting the way you're reacting, and why you're trying to be proactive in their life and stop them from hitting this brick wall.
There's a lot of brick walls out there.
There are lots.
And some of them is hard to bounce back from.
That is so true. But and then I think the other thing we need to understand is, you out there bouncing around, hitting brick walls, who's going to be there for you when you hit the brick walls other than your parents?
Right. And that's who they turn to when they hit that wall.
Right. Yeah. So, Mom, let me go out here and crash the car. And then when I crash the car, I need you to help me get it fixed.
Mom, I didn't have insurance.
Right. Mom, let me go out here and fail in school because, if I fail in school, you're gonna let me stay at home until I can get a job that'll help me get out the house.
Because I was out there partying and not studying. You watched me do this.
Exactly. Mom, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to smoke. And, I'm going to get high, and then, I ain't going to come home for 2 days, and you're going to worry about me, and you're going to be crying and scared because you don't know where I am, but I'm going to need you to let me do my thing and then be there for me.
Because Uncle did it, and he's fine, so I should be able to smoke too and be fine.
Exactly. That's all the conversations that I know each and every parent and child out there can relate to, because it's just a cycle of life. It never stops. It goes on and on and on, and history repeats itself.
Right. And you can't shelter your children from everything. I mean, they're going to learn. If they don't learn it at home, they're going to learn it from away from home.
Right.
Which is, it's tough. So, you can't be there at every step of the way. So you just have to coach them. You have to continue to be their coach, but coach them from a positive perspective, and not jump on them and just beat them down to where they feel like, okay, I'm gonna dodge you for now on because you all in my business,
right,
and you making it hard for me to even enjoy life.
right.
So it's all about your approach and showing love, but not be overbearing.
Overbearing. That's so true, because sometimes as a parent, we can go too far, and our children will hide from us because they don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Or you wonder why that child not calling you anymore.
Right. And not, bringing things to your attention or talking to you about stuff. I love the fact that I have a great relationship with my adult children, and they, Lord Jesus, call me for everything. But I love knowing what's going on in their lives, because I would rather know and we work together and work through it than to find out later. And then it's a whole mountain that we have to, try to break down. That we could have, it could have been a molehill,
right?
And we could have, gotten over it real quick. And now it's a mountain. Now we got to beat at this thing until it falls.
Right. Or at least you give them some insight to allow them to brace themselves for what you already said, because they're going to hear your voice when it happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when they call you, Mom, I know you're going to be mad, but, and you be like, oh, Lord, Dad, you told me not to, but I did it and such and such. And now I need you to bail me out and help me out and get me out. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna help you right after I strangle you.
I know you're gonna say I told you so.
Right.
So go ahead and say I told you so right now, because I done did it and you told me so.
But you know what? I love that. Sometimes you have to allow your children to go through things so they'll know, I bet you won't do that again.
Yeah, that is very true. But just watch, pay attention, and just be there for as much as you can.
Exactly.
Because you can't be there for everything.
Can't be there for everything.
So you have to be picky and choosy with what you decide. You know what? I'm going to intervene. I'm going to jump in on this just to protect or be there as a guide for my child.
For my child. That's so true. So let me ask you a question. I have a couple of questions that I thought about, and I said, we'll have a conversation. I'll interview you. You interview me. We'll talk through this, and hopefully our audience will be able to chime in. Hello out there. So what was it like for you growing up with your mom and with your dad? So give me some examples of what you remember were very strong structural behaviors that your mom practiced that to this day you remember.
Well, my mother, she always worked, which, and she's a nurse.
Okay.
So she worked late hours. She worked long hours. She worked, sometimes she worked 7 to 11. Sometimes she worked 11 to 7.
Yeah.
So I always watched my mom work, and we never wanted or missed out on anything.
Yeah.
So that was a beautiful thing, that I was always able to come home and not worry about anything. Never ever missed a meal. You can almost say what you want, and she'll handle it. And 5 children, she did her thing.
Okay.
And hey, and with my dad, because I didn't, grow up living with my biological father, mom at the same time, but I was able to bounce back and forth. I would, I live with my mom for a year. I would go to my dad for a year. I'd go, live with my mom for a year. I'd go, live with my dad for a summer. So basically, I was able to kind of bounce back and forth, as I wanted to, because I was that kind of kid. I was a good kid. It was just easy for me
to parent you.
To parent me or be at either place, because I adjusted very well to both environments.
Right. So when you say you adjusted well to both environments, I understand, you were a good kid. So it's easy to adapt when you have a mind to always do the right thing. Did you find it difficult to transition between your mom and your dad's house? Like when it was, time for summer, or when it's time for school, what was that transition like? Because going back home, I know you had, with mom, I know you had more siblings there than you did at your dad's house. So what was that like?
Well, it was, pretty easy. I mean, the only, thing I missed out on is being with my brothers and my sisters, from my mom, but I also had a brother on my dad's side too. So I have a brother from my dad, and I have brothers and sisters from my mom. So it was easy for me to go either place. And the only thing about my dad is he always, traveled. So he was always, into politics and business, and so I got a lot of the business savvy from him and the work ethic from my mom. So it's like that's why I'm such a busy person now, and I can manage and balance everything now so well because I grew up watching them do it.
Right.
So what about yourself? How did you grow up, and how was your household? And did you do a lot of bouncing around? Did you pretty much stay home a lot?
I lived with my mom and my stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised in a single family home until I was about 8 years old. It was me and my older brother and my mom. And then my mom met my stepdad and they got married when I was 9. And then my mom had my baby sister. So then it was the three of us, my older brother and my younger sister. And I was a homebody. Like you, I was a good child, always had good grades. I did the right thing. I didn't get in trouble. I, made sure I came home when I was supposed to. But the one thing that was constant in my life is that I had 4 aunts that were very instrumental in my life. Mm-hmm. So whether it was church, whether it was doing my hair, whether it was helping me with my homework, because my mom worked 3 jobs when we were growing up. So my aunts were very instrumental. And where I grew up, it was my grandmother in one house. And then on that same street, it was my dad's mom that lived on top of that hill. And then down that hill, my aunt Sharon and her husband, my Uncle Joe, they bought a house. So I had 3 different homes that I could go to on the same street and have a different atmosphere and a different environment. So I grew up with a huge family on both my mom's side and my dad's side. And it was pretty cool. It was actually really cool. So we have, let's see, River 1001 says he lives in Mongolia. And his dad was a Muslim and mom was Mongolian. He said his dad beat him. He or she. Dad beat me, but I never held a grudge against him. So let's talk about that.
Well, growing up, I didn't really get the beatings. You know, every once in a while, I would do something and I'll have to stick my hand out and, get a comb or a brush or something like that, pa a couple times. But I never had to experience a beating.
Yeah.
But I know I've had a lot of friends that have had that, and I used to play football out in the street, and I know we had a neighbor across the street that seemed like every week he was getting it.
Oh my goodness.
So what about yourself?
Yeah, I didn't get beatings when I was growing up. I remember getting in trouble by my grandmother one time, and I got a spanking, and that was my first, my last, and my only, because I will never forget that. She actually spanked me. I was getting out of the bathtub. She told me that she was going to get me some milk for my cereal for school the next day, and I was too busy watching the Cosby Show because I love it. Actually, I should get on my Aunt Shirley because she's the reason why I was watching the Cosby Show, and that's probably why I got a spanking. But anyway, I was watching the Cosby Show, and she said, I'm going to the store to get you some milk for your cereal. When I come back, you need to be in the tub and get ready to have your pajamas off the bed. Well, she went to the store and came back. I was still laying in the bed watching the Cosby Show. And she never raised her voice. She never got upset. She was never angry. She told me, she said, didn't I tell you to go take a bath? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, okay, now get up and go take a bath. And all I wanted to say, I really wanted to say, well, Grandma, I only got like 5 minutes left. Can I see the end of it? And I was like, nah, you done already pushed it. You better shut your mouth and get in that bathtub. I get in the bathtub, wash up. I let the water out the tub, and I'm going to reach for the towel. And she swung that door open, and it was like, oh my God, I'm about to die.
No.
And she had a belt, and it had holes in it. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm kind of light skinned a little bit. And she told me, she said, didn't I tell you that when I tell you to do something, you do what I tell you to do when I tell you to do it? And I can say, yes, ma'am, Grandma, please don't beat me. She said, I'll never beat you, but I can't let you disrespect me and get away with it. And she whooped me, oh my Lord. And I had to wear pants for about 2 weeks. I had these little circles on my little light skinned legs for about a week or two. And that was my last spanking. I ain't about that life. So I don't know if River 10001 is a male or female, but tell us about how growing up in a home with a Mongolian dad and a Muslim mom. I'm sorry. Yeah, dad was Muslim and mom was Mongolian. So tell us how it was growing up in a home with parents that were from 2 different cultures and what it was like. So, educate us. Let us know what it was like growing up in that type of home. And if you had any sort of challenges that you had to adapt to because of the structure and the way that your parents were raised, and if they were raised different. I don't know. So
there was one more of a disciplinarian than the other.
Right. We want to know. So anybody else out there, we want you to chime in, talk to us about how you are parenting your adult child or adult children, and let us know, because I want to know.
Yeah, because in some households, the mom is like, the feared one.
Right.
In some households, the dad, you're like, the mom, you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell your dad when he gets home
from work. Yeah.
And then the dad be like, well, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna tell your mama when she get home. So who was the beef? In your household, who are you afraid of?
My mother, so like I said, we never got beaten. So my brother was a very good kid. I was a good kid. My sister, I raised my sister while my mom worked. So we I taught her basically what I knew: do good, do your homework, be a good child, and your parents will never, tell you no. Basically, if you're good, they won't have a reason to feel like, oh, you don't deserve something. But anyway, we never felt like.
Well, I guess a better question is, what person would you most least want to disappoint?
My mom. I would say my mom, only because my mom worked 3 jobs and she did everything she could do to make sure that we never wanted for anything. If we said we wanted Nikes, we got Nikes. If we wanted a bike, we got a bike. If we wanted to go to the zoo, we went to the zoo. If we wanted to go out to dinner, she always, worked hard so that we could have anything we asked for. And so we never wanted to disappoint her, because we knew that everything that she was doing was so that we could have everything and a lot of things that she didn't have. I think that's what parents do. Like, I know we both work hard every day so that we can set examples for our children. But if they ever need us, that we're able to say, yes, I can help you.
Right. And they would want to grow up and be able to be the same type of people for their children.
Exactly, because they remember my parent was there for me. I was able to lean on my parent. And that's so good, But can I say this, even as an adult child, we work and we don't need money from our parents, but we still want their love, their attention, their support, their feedback, their input. We still want that. I know I do. I live for knowing that my mom is proud of me, that my dad is proud of me, that my stepdad, not just my parents, but my family in general, my siblings, my children. It's important that I'm known as the child that's going to do the right thing, that's going to be responsible, that's going to be accountable, that's going to be present, that's going to be supportive, so that, I can teach my kids, always be a woman of your word, always be a man of your word, stand up straight, look a man in their face, shake his hand, be firm, and be clear about what your goals are. And, don't waver to the left or to the right. Be very clear about what you want out of life and go get it.
Yeah. Integrity is not a tough thing to teach when you're living with integrity.
Absolutely. That's so true. And walk it like you talk it. Walk it like you talk it. I remember growing up, and my grandmother, things used to happen, and I'd be like, Grandma, what in the world is going on? Why is she doing that? Or why are you doing that? That doesn't seem right. And my grandmother would always say, baby, common sense ain't all that common. And I was like, Grandma, I don't understand what that means, because I'm young, so I don't know what that means. And she says, baby, just keep living. You'll find out. So not everybody is raised the same way. Not everybody has the same morals and values, and not everybody has been afforded the opportunity to be in a home where their parents set the bar high.
Right.
By setting an example and being an example to their children, which is what we want to do.
Yep, every day.
So, what did you do with your child that was effective for you as a child? So was there something that you learned that you said, my mom used to do this, or my dad used to do this, so I'm going to make sure that I implement those same morals and values in my child?
Well, one of the things that I did, because I didn't grow up getting in trouble a lot, or I didn't get, beatings and stuff like that, is I made sure I spoke with my child. I talk to my child, and I express how I felt about anything that might not have gone the way I wanted it to go with her.
Yeah.
So, when, disciplining a child, you don't always just go off and start beating a child, because you can't learn from just beating a child.
Right.
You typically learn from an experience, somebody showing you what's wrong and right. If you just beat the child and not even show the child, how to do something differently, or tell them how to do something differently, then all you've done is just beat the child. And then what they do is they grow up and they know that, well, all I have to do is beat you, and and then eventually you'll get the picture.
Right.
But are you learning anything? All you know is, okay, well, I won't do that anymore. But you won't know the right way, the right thing to do. All you know is, okay, well, if I do that, I'm gonna get beaten. That's not a lesson.
Right. The one thing I always taught and said to my children, and I still say to them to this day, is that when you leave out of this home, you not only represent yourself, but you represent your family. And if you don't want to let yourself down, then don't let your family down.
Got that right.
When you are around your peers, when you are in school, when you are at work, when you are at a restaurant, when you're out at an event, you represent your family. People are going to remember, oh, that's Keith's kid, or that's David's daughter, or that's Tanya's sister, or whomever it is. People are going to remember who you are related to when you do something that is not right.
Oh yeah.
They're not just gonna say, "Oh, did you see what Tony did?" They're gonna be like, "Tony who?" "Oh,
Leroy's son."
Right, so, Leroy's son.
And that's the same way they do you in the news.
They
don't go to the person. They don't talk about the person. They talk about, let's see whose son this is, whose nephew this is, whose cousin
father
this
of
is,
the
whose
greatest
best friend this is, whose girlfriend this is, and they go to the top and say, you know what, reality star or whatever, who does the best makeup,
who was married to
sister, cousin, niece, is now in jail for.
And they go back years.
Right, like they be like, cousin, 20 years ago.
Right. Okay. Yeah, Alicia, who was married to David 48 years ago,
now on drugs.
And what does this have to do with David?
Right.
But that they associate you. And they never let you let go of that person or that thing. So that is why I have always told my children, you represent your family. When they see your last name, or they see, like me, I used to go to my son's football games, and I used to scream, "That's my baby, that's my baby." And after a while, it got so people got so used to hearing me say it, and then my son would make a touchdown, and they'd be like, "We know. That's your baby." so it's like people are used to putting you with someone else.
Oh yeah, quick.
Right. So we have Daddy Watson Haynes is chiming into the chat. He said, "You have both represented your parents well. Proud of you. Where's my switch?" Exactly. Sometimes you got to crack that whip.
Yeah, so and the thing is, I know about the switch because I've seen it used on some siblings of mine. People. So that you're just seeing stuff, witnessing things, just make you know that I don't want that.
Listen, that is how my older two, my youngest, the baby girl, she witnessed her brother and sister getting some spankings here and there, and she has never gotten a spanking in her whole life. She's 16, and she's like, I don't want no parts of that. I don't know what their problem is and why they get in trouble, but I don't want no parts of it. So
yes, that looks good on you. Not on me.
Not on me. And I don't want no parts. I was not there. I don't know how it happened because I was not there. So yes, thank you. We hope that we strive every day. And we're in our 40s and 50s, and I still strive every day to make my parents proud. It's important.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't ever get in trouble, and then they look at me like, wow, you failed us.
Exactly, because you think about these 35, 45, 55-year-old grown adult people that are out there doing things, getting in trouble. And now your 65, 70-year-old mother and father have to come visit you in jail, put money on your books. You got to move back home because you did wrong. And now you done lost your house and your car and your job. That is crazy to me.
And then all the people that you were running around with they ain't thinking about you or giving you put money on your books.
They ain't calling you. Thank you. They ain't picking you up, taking you to
work. Or
picking
up the phone.
Nope. Helping you get a job or helping you get back on your feet. No. So as an adult, it is still important that we make our parents proud. And children, it is important that we continue to instill in them what's right and love and be supportive and be there for them, to let them know that I know you 30.
Right.
But you're still a representation of your entire family.
Family, exactly. Because you can pull your family down.
You can pull
just one bad decision.
Yes. And listen, we have a dad that is in politics, that's in the community, that is very well known, that is very well respected, that is very much loved by so many. And I know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, without any word being said, it would break his heart. To know that, we did something wrong. And, sometimes when you do things wrong, you don't even realize the impact that it has until after, which is sad, but you don't realize the impact of what you do until after it happens. And then you got to go back and try to fix that relationship, because in your mom and your dad's eyes, when you're such a great kid and they expect for you to do good, they don't have to worry about you.
No, they don't worry about you. But, at this day and time, there's so much going on till you do worry.
Absolutely.
Because you don't have to be in the wrong place. You don't have to be doing the wrong thing.
Right.
It can happen. Anything can happen to you anywhere. So of course there's going to be concern. There's going to be love. And the thing is, and I had to kind of I guess tell this to myself. You know what? Even though I may not hear from my parents all the time, every other day, every single week, I still know for sure, without a doubt, that they love me unconditionally.
Absolutely. And there is nothing that they wouldn't do for you that is in their control, that they are able to do. Absolutely. I know for sure.
But in saying that, though, it should go both ways. And this goes for parents and children.
Right.
Just because you haven't heard from one or the other does not mean that you can't be the first one, the quickest one to pick up the phone and say, hey, just call to say I love you. It don't take that long just to say that much. No. Even if you can't talk right now, it doesn't take anything to say, hey, just call to say I love you. And now everyone has mobile phones. You can just text I love you. Yes. Hey, just thinking about you. Whatever abbreviation or heart you want to send, it doesn't take long to just do that, to show love.
There are so many ways to just let someone know you're thinking about them. I have an app on my phone, and I'm sure with the text messages you can set the text to go out at a certain time. I set a text to go out to my children to say, I love you, I'm thinking about you, have a wonderful day. And it says it every single day. And it's something that can be set without you having to enter it every single time. But like you said, we all have cell phones. It's 2021. There's WhatsApp, there's Marco Polo, there's text messaging, there's Facebook Live, there's what else? There's picking up the telephone. There's Zoom,
FaceTime,
there's Teams. It's so many different ways that you can communicate with your family and just say, thinking about you, I love you, you're on my mind, have a great day. Or like you said, a heart. One little symbol and hit send.
Right. And the thing is, you can do this stuff, send it, and it's not like you're stopping this person from doing what they're doing throughout the day. It's not like, well, I was in a meeting, I couldn't pick up the phone. No, I just sent you a message.
Exactly.
When I get out of a meeting, I still know that you sent me a message. I can just send a heart back, or I love you back, or hey back.
Right.
Hey.
And I love
hey.
Hey. And I love Marco Polo because you can play the messages over and over and over again.
Years from now,
you'll have them in your history, and you can play those messages over and over again. And I don't know if this is on every phone, because obviously I don't have every phone, but I know that you can create a voicemail and you can send that person a voicemail, and when they have time, they can listen to it. So you don't have to ring their phone and wait for them to send you the voicemail. If they're busy, they can't answer, you go to voicemail. You can actually record a voicemail in the voicemail app, and then put the number in of the person you want to get the voice message so that they can hear your voice. So there's so many ways that we can show love. That's all, like you said, a part of parenting and a part of being a child, because it goes both ways.
Yeah. And I know for some people, Marco Polo is kind of, difficult to kind of figure out.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't say record, it doesn't say play. It's just a little red button there that you press and it records.
Yeah.
And then when it's finished, it's a square while you're recording. Then you press the square and then it stops. But it really doesn't say anything.
Right.
And it doesn't say successful or anything like that. So you're like, did it do anything? So if Marco Polo doesn't work for you, use WhatsApp. Yeah. You can send a voice message, you can send a video message. It's a lot you can do with WhatsApp.
Yes.
And it's awesome. Like Natasha said, you can record your voice saying happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, yes. Happy birthday, and then send it, and then you'll see 2 checks from the person, get it when they look at it. So that's the only thing. They'll be like, I know you got it.
But you know what? I think, just knowing that you sent an I love you, I think that's good.
Yeah, it's the thought.
It's the thought.
And it doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. But I'm saying that to say that they may be having a rough day. You never know. Or they may not even having a rough day. They may have a busy day. And they may not be able to respond right back. But just knowing in your heart that you did a shout out to your children or your mom or your dad or your siblings or whomever it is, just knowing that you did it should make you feel really good.
Yeah, but look at it from another perspective. Mm-hmm. What about you feeling bad and you reaching out and saying, I love you to all of your family members just to receive it back?
Just to receive it back. Absolutely. That's a good point.
That's going to turn your spirit around.
Absolutely. Yes. So we want to tell you quickly 7 suggestions for parenting adult children. Pray continually. Mm-hmm. Speak reservedly. Model for them. Remember you were once their age. Mm-hmm. Keep the door open. Love them more than their life.
Yes.
And guard their heart. Those are 7 things that we can do as parents to parent adult children. And then as your younger children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren begin to grow up, they will see how you as a grandparent or great-grandparent have modeled for your children, who have modeled for their children, who are modeling for them.
Right. And modeling is not, getting the bathrobe out and doing some, steps in the living room, doing some turns and stuff. That's not the modeling we're talking about. Okay, we're talking about role model, and a positive influence. Role model. But, it's just being a positive influence, someone that, gives I wouldn't even say child, but even an adult.
Yeah.
Anyone. This could be a coworker. I mean, a model can be many things, right. But just being a positive role model, and just people seeing you in that light makes people gravitate to you as a person.
Yes.
And then you know what? It becomes contagious.
It really does. I work in the front office of our hospital and in the CEO suite, and people come through there all day, every day. And I make it my business to make sure that I have a smile on my face. I acknowledge the person when they walk through the door. I am helpful and, I'm on point with whatever they need. And it's just something that I want to do because that's how I, that's the energy that I want to give off. And just doing my thing, had no idea that my CEO was paying attention because, he's constantly busy. But he said to me, he's like, you represent this office so well. You're always helpful. You're always smiling. You're always on point. You have a great spirit and a great heart. You're such a great asset to our team. I'm so thankful that you're here. And he told me, I don't want you to leave. Mm-hmm. I'm like, God dang it. Mm-hmm. Now I can't go. But it's important that people see you that way because you never know who you are affecting. A lot of times people don't say anything, but they are watching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They don't say anything, but they are listening. And just because they don't say anything or that they don't, react to something that you're doing, you are definitely modeling for people that you come in contact with, that you engage with. You are modeling behavior, personality, character, morals, values, integrity, love, spirit, all that stuff.
Right. And what you don't want is for that person not to be saying anything around you, saying something to somebody else that's twisted.
Exactly.
So be a model. Be a positive model.
Be a model. Strong J. Listen, show up for your children, show up for your parents, show up for people that you love and that are important to you, because it is important that we understand our role in our children and in our families' lives and in our parents' lives.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a child to a parent that you know needs love, needs support, needs encouragement, reassurance, be that model for them, be that example for them, because just because you're a parent, that doesn't mean you don't need love too.
No, it goes both ways. Stop waiting on each other.
Exactly. Yep. And be the first one to say, I love you. I love you more.
I beat you to it.
I beat you to it. So my cousin, hey, cousin Gladys, she says, thanks, cuz, for the topic on adult parenting. Yes, you are very welcome. This is very near and dear to our heart because we absolutely love our children.
And they're adults now.
And we want them to know, and we want them to know that even though they are adults, we still love them to pieces and want them to succeed. We want all of them to win. And we love our children because they love us back just as much as we love them. And so that is a great feeling because we know that we are doing something right.
Yep, we done something right.
Yes. And we also love our parents. We have wonderful parents who love us dearly, and we love them back. And so we know that we are doing something right, and they have done something and are doing something right.
And before somebody saying I love you, Dad.
Love you, Dad.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom. Yes,
they beat me to it.
You to it. We beat y'all to it. So we love y'all. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Listen, make sure you like and subscribe to Beyond the Chat. Tell somebody about the show. And if you want to be on the show, you have a question, a topic you'd like for us to discuss, please send us an email at contact@beyondthechat.com. Or you can go to our website, beyondthechat.com, and click on contact and talk to us there. We love you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next Sunday at 6 p.m. Tell somebody, hey, woo, come on. We're not just talk, we go.
Hey.
Hey. I love you too, Miss Val. You know the drill. Bottom. Hey, stay tuned. Make sure you stay locked. We go. Hey, come on. We're not just talk, we go. Oh, yeah.
Just talk, we go.
Woo! Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next Sunday at 6 o'clock. Peace.
Peace.